Hey guys, just laying here waiting to see if they're gonna do the C-section. I've been induced and I'm only at 3. And so I've been prepped for a C-section. So we'll see. I'll be back. That's my little princess. She's sleeping. She's so tiny, y'all. And JK over there, maxing and relaxing. You can sleep.
Sitting here chilling. Really wishing I could hold my baby.
And she's trying to get some sleep right now. Her temperature is a little low, so she has to have 2 covers on. So I'm just gonna leave her in her bed and let her sleep, because if I pick her up, she'll cry if I put her down. And they finally got her to eat. So, my little peanut. And we're just in the delivery room. We're in the mother's room, just chilling. So, we'll talk to you guys later. Somebody stole my food. Ain't that mean? They stole my hamburger and fries that I ordered. Bye.
Hey YouTube, this is JK and Leia. You know, we're so proud right now. We had the baby, 8:45 last night. She weighed 5 pounds, 14 ounces. We give y'all a shot. Y'all already got a shot of her on Facebook.
Yeah, because I'm giving that information.
Right. Everything else, y'all will see her later on YouTube, later on down the line. Don't worry. Yeah, right now we are in the postpartum ward. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, we're in the postpartum ward. Getting ready for the morning. She's eating. She has eaten twice that I know of. Yeah, at least twice that I know of. So, but yeah, this is the postpartum ward. As you guys can clearly see, yeah, it's everything that a normal room would possibly have. Big little biohazard thing for their needles and all of that stuff. And, you know, gotta have the 2 beds for some odd reason. And we got our suitcase on one. And there's Miss Persia sleeping ever so soundly. And so beautiful.
This is breakfast. French toast, potatoes. They could have left that out. A blueberry. I'm sitting here zooming in. Yeah, French toast, a blueberry muffin. I thought she said bagel. And potatoes, orange juice, oatmeal, and butter. And some like cutting utensil. Talk to you later. What's up, everyone? I wanted to come and go ahead and finally get my labor and delivery story out the way. I know that a lot of you have been hitting me up on Instagram like, where's the labor and delivery story? And so here I am. Here it is. So it's not going to be very long because I really don't have that much time. Obviously, I have a newborn, so I don't have time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first, there are a lot of... I'm sitting in my nursery in the chair. There's a lot of congrats I need to get out first. So let's start with saying congratulations to the persons who have had their babies as well. And I have them on my handy dandy phone here. And the first person I want to say congrats to is Tall Glass 24. Yeah, I want to say congrats to you on your little girl. Also, Lady Diamond 337, she had a little boy, so congrats to her. I think his name was DeAndre. The next one is my girl, Strong Mom Chrissy. Chrissy had a boy. His name is Cash with a K. And so thank you. Congrats to her. He is too cute. Also, Jamie. Now look, I only have your name on Instagram now that we are friends on Instagram. So it's Jamie Dow. And she had a baby girl named Eulayla, which is so pretty because my name is Leia. So it reminds me of my name a little bit. So congrats to you too. And now I want to go to the persons who are still waiting, who are pregnant and still waiting to have their babies. The first one, of course, is my girl Tina Marie. You guys know her channel, True Meaning of Radiance, Tina Marie. She is still waiting to have baby Grace, which is due next month. So I'm waiting to see baby Grace. And then Shay H, she has a channel on YouTube as well, and she's 31 weeks and she's still waiting. So yeah, can't wait to see your baby as well. It's a boy, of course. And then I want to say congrats to Unfertile Myrtle. Now these people are going into the TTC community, which I've never been a part of. I've never TTC'd. My pregnancy was a complete surprise, my second one. And but I watched them. Somehow I ended up watching one video, and then I just snowballed into me watching the TTC community. And those people over there, they're knit. They're close like this. If you've watched one video, then you can pretty much find all the other TTC people. And I like to watch their journeys because they go from trying to conceive, and next thing I know, they're pregnant. And I get to watch their pregnancy videos, and I feel like I was a part of their whole journey, you know. So I want to say condolences, first of all, to Bun in the Oven. She was pregnant, and it ended up in a miscarriage in I think a matter of a week or so. It was a beautiful video. She did tell her husband she was pregnant, so I would feel really bad for her. But like she said, don't feel bad for her, because that's just, you know, a little bump and then she's going to get pregnant. So not worried about it. And like I said, congratulations to Unfertile Myrtle. I guess you're fertile. You can change your name to Fertile Myrtle now. She's pregnant with twins. So congrats to her. And those people who are still trying to get pregnant, my girl Something Minus Me, I can't wait to see when you finally do have a baby. It's gonna happen in a minute. Cookie 90. Yeah, I finally got it. I had to go through my phone and look, y'all. Alright, so we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and get started with 3 minutes. Y'all know at like week 35 I started getting real antsy. Like I was just ready to be done with being pregnant. So what happened was November 8th, I was 38 weeks and 4 days. At like 12 in the morning, I started having back contractions. And I knew it was contractions because I had back contractions with my daughter 14 years ago. And so as I would lay, they would get worse. So I told my mom, first I told my husband that I was having back contractions. And I was counting them, and they were 4 minutes and 12 seconds apart, which would warrant somebody to run to the hospital. But the thing is, they were only lasting for about 15 seconds. So I was like, okay, no point in going to the hospital. So I woke my mom up. She was on the couch here, for she lives in Michigan, so she was here on the couch. And I told her, hey, I might be going to the emergency room tonight because I am having contractions, and I just want to make sure. But that was that. So I ended up making it through the night. The next morning, we decided to go ahead and do something to my hair because, you know, I just wanted something done to my hair. So she ended up doing my hair that morning, and I didn't feel any contractions. I could feel them, but because I was sitting straight up, they didn't hurt. Like, you know, I could feel something. And I was like, you know, I bet you by tonight I'll be in labor is what I kept thinking. And I had been losing my mucus plug the day before on the 8th, like little by little. And I kept saying, what is this? Is this my mucus plug? I kept saying, I keep, you know, and I could feel the mucus. And sorry, it's a little TMI. It was real, you know, and I was like, what is this? Anyway, so she did my hair. I didn't feel no contractions. 7 p.m. I ate. That was the last time I ate. We ate tacos. That was 38 weeks, 5 days. That was November. And then, yeah, so November, that was November 9th on Sunday. No, it was November 8th. So November 9th on Sunday, that night, around 11 p.m., I started having contractions, which I knew I was. I knew I was going to get contractions again at night. And the next thing I know, I woke my husband up. I told him, hey, I'm having contractions again. And I was like, they're still 4 minutes apart. I'm counting them. And so I didn't know what to do. Let me tell you something. You can plan everything as much as you want to, but when you are in the moment, you don't know anything. Like, we didn't know anything. We didn't know what to do. We was like frantic. And so he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all this training, we went through all these classes and we still don't know what to do now. So I was like, I don't know. I want to go to the hospital and just check. As I'm saying that, next thing I know, I feel something just slide. I mean, you know, it's TMI, but I felt it slide. And I was like, I need to see what this is. So I just stopped right there, like grabbed some tissue. I was like, what is this? And sure enough, it was like my mucus plug had just, the rest of it just came out. I said, let's go. Hurry up, let's go. So we jumped and got my clothes on. And I took a shower. Yeah, I took a shower because I was like, I'm not finna go in there funky. I mean, I'm not saying I was funky, but you know, whatever. And so we got up to the hospital at exactly 12. It was like 11:58. And by the time I got out the car, I kept saying to myself, I bet you I am about to break my water. My water is gonna break. So I went to the doors of the ER. He went to go park the car. Sure enough, I felt water just coming out hot. You know, it's warm, it's sticky. You know it's not pee. And there was a wrap. I went to the emergency room. They asked me what was I doing there. I said, I just lost my water just now. My water just broke. So sure enough, we went to labor and delivery in a wheelchair. When we got up there, I filled out my paperwork. They took me to the room. They asked me, are you sure it's your water? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. So I got up and went to the bathroom. They looked in the wheelchair. They was like, is it something in the wheelchair? I was like, I don't know. It probably is. And of course it was. And so told me to get undressed and put my stuff on. She was like, I think you're going to be having a baby tonight. When I got into bed, she was like, we're going to use the light to look and see if it's water. They didn't have to. By the time she grabbed the light and she just told me to open up and she looked down, it was just steady squirting everywhere. And she was like, never mind. We don't even have to do that. Your water is broke. You're ruptured. You will be having the baby tonight. So that was good news. I was like, yay, okay, I'm having a baby tonight. I'm 38 weeks and 6 days tonight. It was 12 in the morning. The day she was born, it was the 10th. And I was like, okay, cool. Labor room, laboring. From about 12:30 in the morning, without no medicine, till like, I want to say about 4 a.m. Matter of fact, it was later than that because they had brought me the medicine. It was about 6:30 a.m. when I couldn't take it anymore. I had started getting evil. Every time I would have a contraction, I would get mad. My husband, he was hungry. He was eating popcorn, you know, and I was just looking over there and I was just getting so angry. I remember the last straw is when I got mad and I felt like I had to throw up. And I grabbed I don't know, the bag that he gave me to throw up in. I threw it on the floor because I was so pissed. And I said, you know what? I can't take it anymore. Bring me the drugs. Give me the epidural. And so I told them, because the nurses kept saying, honey, if you're not feeling well, you can get some medicine. I mean, they felt bad for me. I mean, I was just sitting there. They didn't know I was in pain, but was I in pain? I said, bring me the epidural. I can't do it. 15 years ago or 14 years ago, almost 15 years ago, I did it 100% natural. Everything was fine. But you have to understand that I had tested positive for the strep B down below. And like I said, a lot of people, women have it, they don't know what it is, whatever. It doesn't have no effect on people, just on babies if they come out of there. So I had to have, I'm getting penicillin. I'm being induced with Pitocin. I am getting, her water broke, so they needed to give her a amniofusion. So they put more water up there because I had been ruptured too long. And then finally I got the epidural. And then I had regular IV. So I'm getting 5 things in my body at one time. And you're talking about a person who's all natural, organic, don't like medicine. I don't even take Motrin. After I had her, I didn't even take anything. I didn't take a Motrin, I didn't take an aspirin, nothing. Once all them drugs was out of my system. Anyways, let me hurry up and get through with this story. So anyways, during the epidural, he was telling me because I'm fat that he may not be able to get the needle all the way through to where he needed to be. But let me tell you something, he got it into where it needed to be, and not only did he do that, but they told me that my epidural was the best one they've ever seen. And that's because I feel like because I couldn't move anything. These people had to turn me, they had to lift my legs. Even when it came time to push, it was a mess. But they had to do everything for me. I couldn't do anything because from the lower half on, I couldn't do anything. And I believe that's because I don't have a tolerance anymore for medicine, because I don't take medicine. So because I don't take any medicine, medicine took to me like that, which was a good thing because I ain't feel nothing. Okay, no pain. All right, so around 7, 8 a.m. I got the epidural. I was only 1 centimeter. 1. My water had broke hours ago, and I was only 1 centimeter. My nurse, Courtney, oh my gosh, she stayed with me all that time. She was a young girl, and she wanted to see the baby so bad. We got to be at 7 o'clock at night. She was getting ready to get off. I wanted her to see the baby so bad. She had been with me. I didn't even want a new nurse. Got a new nurse. I was like, oh my God. And I was getting tired. They kept checking me. I was getting like to 2 to 3, but it would be hours passing. And not only that, but I also got prepped for a C-section, because around that time earlier, about 2 o'clock in the evening, her heart rate wasn't spiking like they wanted to. It wasn't going down, but it wasn't spiking. It kind of was just like she was sleeping, and they didn't want it to do that. And so they prepped me, they shaved me, they got me all ready for a C-section. And then the doctor saw her heart rate spike back up, so he was like, that's okay. So she had it hard too, poor baby. Okay, so we didn't do the C-section. They said, we want you to have a vaginal birth. I'm like, yeah, me too. Okay, but this is taking a while. 1 minute I would entertain the thought of having a C-section. The next minute I'd be like, nah, it's okay. But as the hours kept droning and droning on, I'm talking about, I mean, I had been in labor since the day before 12 o'clock, or since 12 o'clock a.m. And here we are all the way into 8 o'clock p.m. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's about to be 24 hours that I've been in labor, like active labor. And though I'm not feeling the contractions, I started feeling the pressure of her pushing down. So finally, y'all, at 8 o'clock, they like, okay, you at like 9 centimeters. Thank the Lord. I'm like, yes. So at 9 centimeters, they all left, and they was like, push the button and tell us if you feel like you about to push her out. I'm like, what? I don't know. I had an epidural. I can't even feel what's going on. So every time I would feel like she finna come out, I would push the thing like, I think I need to push. And they kept telling me, if you feel like you have to have a bowel movement, push the thing and tell us. I'm like, I feel like I had to push. But that night I ended up finding out that they had so many deliveries that night that they started turning people away after I came in. So I thank God that I made it in, because they start turning people away after 12 o'clock. Thank God that I got in, because I would have been turned away and had to drive all the way to Sarasota and have my baby, which I wouldn't have minded, but all right. So finally at like, I want to say like 8:20, they came in and they checked me, and it was like, okay, it's time to push. You ready to push? And I was like, good. So my husband had my leg, the nurse had my leg, and it wasn't rushed like it was in Michigan. I don't like that. In Michigan, it was like a room. They had all the tools. Everything was ready. It looked like a surgery room. We finna get this done. And here it's kind of like lax. I was in a regular room sort of situation. It was a little more relaxed. I don't really like that whole relaxed situation. Put me in like a surgery room so I can feel like I'm just, you know. Anyway, so I pushed. It took me a lot of pushes because I could not push right. They kept telling me, you can do better than that. I had an epidural, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. So it took a lot of pushes, and finally when her head did crown, they told me to stop pushing. And then the doctor was coming in, getting on his gear, and I heard her heart rate go down. It went from like doop 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 to doop doop. I said, oh no. So I pushed while they were talking about. I said, I'm pushing. You need to catch her. And I just pushed. I didn't care who was down. Somebody was going to catch her. I wasn't going to let her heart rate just go down to nothing. I mean, it was like one beat, like boom, boom. I was like, oh no. So I just pushed, and she came out. So anyway, that's that situation. I'll have pictures of all of that. I'm not pushing. And let's record that. But I have pictures of all that. My husband did well. Back when I had my daughter, my 14-year-old, my ex-husband passed out on the floor. And yeah, so my husband, current husband, and only husband, last husband, did really great. All right, so well, first let me tell you about the hospital. So we stayed in the hospital 2.5 days after that. So basically almost 3 days. She slept all the way in there. I mean, pretty much just slept. Right after I had her, when they did the skin to skin, it was time for her to eat. And at the time, she only weighed 5 pounds and 14 ounces. So I was like, my baby is tiny. She was 8 days ahead of time. I was due in 8 days. So she could have gained essentially 2 more ounces by then. It'd been 6 pounds. My other daughter was born 6'2". So I was like, okay, she's not that off, but you know, I thought she was gonna be a little bigger. So which I did lose 22 pounds right after I had her. So I don't know what I had in my system, but it must have been a lot of water, so I lost 22 pounds. But I mean, instantly. So what I did was, I said I want to give her formula because I'm tired. I'm starving. I don't know what nutrients I could possibly even give her out of that breast milk, out of the colostrum. It hasn't been leaking before. And I said, just give her some, for now, formula, because I want her to eat. Because she was only 5 pounds, 14 ounces. So when she came out, we got ready to give her the formula, and she would not latch onto the nipple. She just looked at it like, I am not hungry. I don't want that. So we all got nervous. They said, that's okay as long as she eat within the next hour. And so finally they got me all cleaned up and got me down to the room, to the mother's room, our room, for the, you know, remainder of the stay. And she still wouldn't eat. So the nurses came and got her, and they took her down, and they came back and they said she ate. And I said, okay. So that's what we did. And also because she was so small, they did a sugar test on her, 24-hour sugar test, so they had to come poke her. So before she would eat, they would poke her foot, her heel, check her sugar, and then let her eat. And every time her sugar was awesome. So they would check her sugar, then she could go down, the nurse would take her down, she would eat for about an hour. She'd be gone for about an hour, and then they bring her back into the room. Eventually, we had to get her to eat. So I'm going to tell you, my husband got her to eat. He got her to eat the first time. I think he got her to take like a ½ ounce, which was good. And so ever since then, when he got her to eat, we were able to get her to eat ever since then. So that was absolutely great. And she's been eating since then. A week. I'll give you the update on her next time when she turns a month, which will be this Wednesday. So the rest of the story is the only shots that she needed was her vitamin K, and she got the antibiotics put into her eyeballs, of course, and they did that while I was holding her, which I didn't like, but because she cried and I just felt so bad. I didn't have any tearing. Of course, I had her vaginally. I had an epidural. I did not tear. I tore with my daughter, with Malia. I had I didn't have no epidural. I had a episiotomy with her, but I didn't tear this time. What I did notice is during my stay at the hospital, I couldn't pee. I mean, I could pee, but I couldn't hold it. So I actually peed on myself, and I'm being very candid with you because this is not, you know, why be shy about it. We all know what it means to have a baby. I couldn't hold it at all, like nothing. I mean, I couldn't hold anything. I would have to pee, and if I had to pee, the sensation didn't even come to me. I think it's from having an epidural and being numb down there. I didn't even feel a sensation until it was time to pee. And then by then, I'm heading to the bathroom, and I peed all over myself. I bled for 11 days. But the reason why I kept bleeding more is because I was pumping breast milk at the same time. When I got home, it was like 2 days I didn't have a pump. My mother bought me a pump, a manual pump, because my insurance is acting stupid, which they just emailed me finally about a pump. I'm going to look and see what they're talking about. But yeah, so they, she did that. She got me a pump, and I started pumping breast milk. And that will make your uterus contract, in turn making you bleed more. So that would happen. And then my uterus was going through this crazy contracting thing. It would shake, 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 shake. And it would just feel funny. Like it would just, it would open, it would like blow up like a balloon and then go back down. I don't know what it was doing in there, but it was the worst feeling ever. It would make me like suck my stomach in and out real fast. It was crazy. It was driving me nuts. The hormones had my body feeling dead. I would like lay down, and then my legs would just go numb, and I would feel like, oh my God, you know, and then I would shake them out. So it was just the rest of the medicine, the hormones, everything was finally coming out, and it was terrible. I started feeling the labor afterward, like 2-3 days later. I felt the labor in my back. It felt like I was actually having real labor. So I'm like, I went through all the trouble of having an epidural and then still have labor pains 3 days later. My full milk came in, breast milk came in after 4 days. We were given gifts. I'm probably going to insert pictures. Hopefully, like I said, if it's not on this video, it's going to be on the picture commentary. It was, they gave us like a big thing of Enfamil. They gave us some sparkling cider, some chocolate, which I don't eat chocolate. We still have all of that here, which we're going to open it up on Wednesday for her 1-month-old month day. We started going nuts in the hospital. It was cold as hell in there, and they kept telling us to turn on the heat in our room, but the heat wouldn't work. It was loud in there. It was more loud on the mother's floor than it was in the emergency room. They were loud. They were family. There were children running. I never got out to see any of this stuff. Once I was in my room, I never left until it was time to go. It got bad. Like the last day I was there, I was just in agony. I was like going nuts. You know how you get cabin fever? And I just was like ready to leave the hospital. It was cold, stale. I felt like I had no life, no sunshine. And when I finally did get wheeled out of there, oh my God, and looked at the palm trees again. Oh, I felt the breeze. It was just like heaven. That's pretty much it. The rest of it is the update on her, in which I'll do this Wednesday. So yeah, that is my labor and delivery story. It was basically what it was. It wasn't much to talk about. My hospital is right down the street, like a half a mile or a mile. She was delivered at 8:45 p.m. She weighed 5 pounds 14 ounces. Her name is Persia Princess Milan Kellum. And yeah, that is pretty much it, y'all. Yeah, so that's my story. It was quick. It wasn't much to talk about. I had a regular vaginal birth. I had an epidural. Do I want any more children? No way. Which I'll talk to you guys about in the next update, which will be her 1-month-old update. So I'll talk to you later. This video is like 30 minutes. Bye.